Have you ever wondered how God is preparing you for a major breakthrough, is shaping your life in ways you cannot yet see? Through waiting and refining, He aligns every trial and triumph with His perfect timing, ensuring you are ready to embrace the extraordinary blessings ahead. God's timing operates on a plane far beyond our comprehension, unbound by the constraints of human schedules, expectations, or deadlines. While we often find ourselves striving for immediate results and feeling frustration when they are delayed, God's perspective encompasses a grander, eternal view. This principle is central to faith, teaching us to trust not in what we can see or control, but in the wisdom of divine orchestration. Imagine the story of Joseph in the Bible, sold into slavery by his brothers, wrongly accused and imprisoned for years. To any observer, Joseph's circumstances appeared bleak, unjust, and devoid of progress. Yet during those years, God was preparing Joseph for a significant role, becoming a leader who would save not only Egypt, but his own family during a time of famine. Had Joseph been freed earlier or not endured those trials, he would not have been equipped with the wisdom and humility needed to fulfill his divine purpose. Similarly, our delays often serve as opportunities for growth, refining our patience and teaching us the value of surrendering control to God's perfect plan. Waiting, while uncomfortable, is never wasted in the hands of the divine. It is a period where our hearts are softened, our faith is deepened, and our character is prepared for what lies ahead. Consider a farmer planting seeds. The farmer understands that after planting, a period of waiting ensues. Rain must fall, the sun must shine, and time must pass before the seeds germinate and sprout. Rushing the process, digging up the seeds prematurely to check their progress, would only ruin the harvest. In the same way, God asks us to trust that the unseen work happening beneath the surface will one day bear fruit. This perspective challenges us to look beyond our impatience and frustration, recognizing that delays often protect us from stepping into situations we are not yet prepared to handle. We may feel ready for a promotion, a relationship, or a breakthrough, but God, in His infinite wisdom, knows the right moment to bring these blessings into our lives. A parent would not place a child behind the wheel of a car simply because they are eager to drive. Instead, they wait until the child has matured, learned, and developed the skills necessary to handle the responsibility. In the same way, God lovingly waits until we are fully prepared, even if we cannot see or understand the reasons for the delay. Trusting in divine timing also means releasing our need for control and embracing the peace that comes with surrender. Life often presents us with situations that feel stagnant or out of alignment with our plans, but these moments are opportunities to deepen our reliance on God. The story of Abraham and Sarah illustrates this beautifully. They were promised a child, but as years turned into decades, their faith wavered. They took matters into their own hands, resulting in the birth of Ishmael. However, God's promise was fulfilled only when Isaac was born in his perfect timing. This delay was not a sign of neglect, but of intentional preparation, ensuring that the promise was realized in a way that aligned with His greater plan. When we reflect on our own lives, we often see how delays have shaped us in ways we could not have predicted. A closed door may have felt like a setback, but in hindsight, it redirected us to a path far better than what we originally envisioned. A student waiting for admission to a desired university may feel disheartened, but the delay might lead them to discover a different program that aligns more closely with their calling. A professional passed over for a promotion might later realize that the timing allowed them to develop leadership skills they previously lacked. These moments, while challenging, ultimately become testimonies to the perfection of God's timing. As we navigate seasons of waiting, we must learn to shift our perspective from one of impatience to one of trust. Waiting is not about passively enduring time, but about actively leaning into faith, seeking God's guidance and preparing ourselves for what lies ahead. Each delay, each unanswered prayer, and each unfulfilled desire is an invitation to grow closer to Him, to refine our character, and to build a foundation for the blessings to come. Trusting God's timing is not just about the destination, it is about embracing the journey, knowing that His plans are always for our good, and His timing is, without fail, perfect. Challenges, though often viewed as burdens or obstacles, are in fact divine tools meticulously designed to refine our character, deepen our faith, and equip us for the blessings that lie ahead. They serve not as punishments or setbacks, but as necessary elements of growth and preparation, aligning us with the plans God has for our lives. Just as a sculptor chisels away at a block of marble to reveal a masterpiece, challenges shape us by removing the flaws, weaknesses, and doubts that would otherwise hinder our potential. These moments of difficulty are not random or meaningless, but part of a greater, purposeful process. Consider the life of Moses, a man called by God to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. Before Moses could fulfill this monumental task, he endured years of exile, wandering the wilderness after fleeing Egypt in fear. Those years, seemingly unproductive and desolate, were actually a period of preparation. In the wilderness, Moses developed humility, resilience, and a deeper reliance on God. By the time he returned to Egypt to confront Pharaoh, he was no longer the impulsive young man who had fled in fear, but a leader shaped by the trials he had faced. His challenges were not meant to break him, but to build him into the person God needed him to be for the task ahead. In our own lives, trials often feel overwhelming and unjust. However, when viewed through the lens of faith, they become opportunities for transformation. A student struggling through rigorous academic challenges may feel discouraged, questioning their abilities and purpose. Yet these struggles cultivate discipline, perseverance, and critical thinking, skills that will serve them well beyond their years of study. Similarly, a parent juggling work, family responsibilities, and personal hardships might feel stretched to their limits. Yet these challenges foster patience, empathy, and a strength that inspires others. Challenges also reveal the depth of our faith. When life is smooth and predictable, it is easy to profess trust in God. It is in the valleys, however, when uncertainty and hardship loom, that our faith is tested and strengthened. Think of Job, a man who faced unimaginable losses, his wealth, his children, and his health, all in rapid succession. Though he wrestled with questions and despair, Job's faith ultimately deepened through his trials. His story serves as a testament to the refining power of challenges and the blessings that follow for those who remain steadfast. The refining process is rarely comfortable. It often feels like walking through fire, a metaphor aptly used in the Bible. Gold, one of the most valued metals, is purified by intense heat, which burns away impurities and leaves behind a substance of greater worth. Similarly, our trials act as a refining fire, exposing the areas in our lives that need growth and purging us of traits that hinder our spiritual maturity. A person facing rejection in their career may initially feel defeated, but that rejection can lead to self-reflection, resilience, and a redirection toward a path better suited to their talents and purpose. Challenges not only prepare us for future blessings, but also equip us to bless others. When we endure hardship, we gain empathy and understanding that allow us to support those facing similar struggles. A cancer survivor, for example, can offer comfort and hope to someone newly diagnosed, sharing insights and encouragement rooted in personal experience. This cycle of enduring, growing, and giving is a profound way in which challenges contribute to God's greater plan. Our trials are not solely for our benefit, but are part of a divine strategy to use our lives as vessels of hope and inspiration for others. Each challenge we face is a step in our journey of becoming who we are meant to be. It is a reminder that God's plans for us are intentional and good, even when the path is difficult. By shifting our perspective and trusting in His purpose, we can embrace challenges not as barriers, but as opportunities for growth and transformation. Through faith, we come to understand that trials are not the end of the story, but the beginning of something greater. God is using each difficulty to prepare us for the blessings, responsibilities, and opportunities He has planned, ensuring that we are ready to walk fully in the purpose for which we were created. Hardships, while painful and challenging, serve a profound purpose in cultivating empathy and compassion within us, enabling us to support others in ways we might never have imagined. These difficult experiences often expand our hearts and deepen our understanding of the struggles faced by those around us, transforming us into vessels of comfort and encouragement. Through hardship, we gain a first-hand perspective of suffering, which breaks down walls of judgment and builds bridges of connection. This transformation equips us to be more sensitive to the needs of others and more attuned to their unspoken pain. Consider the story of Ruth in the Bible. After the death of her husband, Ruth faced the anguish of widowhood and the uncertainty of her future. Yet, rather than succumb to despair, she chose to accompany her mother-in-law, Naomi, who was also grieving the loss of her sons. Ruth's own pain gave her the capacity to understand Naomi's sorrow, and her decision to stay by Naomi's side was a powerful act of compassion. Ruth's hardships did not only shape her character, but also positioned her to become part of a greater story, ultimately leading to her marriage to Boaz and her inclusion in the lineage of Jesus Christ. This narrative illustrates how enduring pain can birth empathy that transforms not just individuals, but entire communities. In modern times, the same principle applies. A person who has experienced poverty often has a unique ability to understand and support others facing financial difficulties. They are more likely to notice the subtle signs of struggle and to respond with generosity and kindness, recognizing the courage it takes to endure such trials. Similarly, a survivor of a serious illness may be able to offer hope and guidance to others facing a diagnosis, not merely through words, but through the authenticity of shared experience. Their presence alone can be a reminder that recovery is possible, and their insights can provide practical and emotional support that is deeply meaningful. Empathy born of hardship is not limited to grand gestures or dramatic stories. It often manifests in small, quiet acts of kindness that carry profound weight. A person who has faced rejection in their career may take extra care to encourage a colleague who feels overlooked, offering words of affirmation or practical advice that they themselves longed for during their own struggles. A parent who has endured sleepless nights with a sick child may instinctively lend a hand to another parent facing the same challenge, knowing how isolating such moments can feel. These acts of compassion ripple outward, creating a chain of support that enriches the lives of countless others. Hardships also cultivate a sense of humility, stripping away the illusion of invulnerability and reminding us of our shared humanity. When we endure pain or failure, we become more aware of our own limitations and more open to recognizing the strengths and vulnerabilities of others. This humility fosters genuine connections, allowing us to approach others not with pity, but with mutual respect and understanding. For example, someone who has struggled with addiction and found recovery may work to support others battling the same demons, not as a savior, but as a companion on the journey. Their shared history creates a bond that enables deeper trust and mutual growth. The Apostle Paul wrote extensively about how his own suffering allowed him to empathize with others and offer encouragement. In his letter to the Corinthians, he spoke of the comfort he received from God in his trials, which enabled him to comfort others in their times of need. This principle is timeless, as seen in countless stories throughout history. Leaders, activists, and change-makers often point to their personal struggles as the source of their passion for helping others. Nelson Mandela, after enduring decades of imprisonment, emerged not with bitterness, but with a profound empathy that allowed him to lead South Africa toward reconciliation. His hardships became the foundation for his ability to connect with people from all walks of life and inspire them to work together for justice and peace. On a personal level, hardships often teach us the value of listening, a skill that is fundamental to empathy. When we have walked through pain, we understand the power of being heard and the comfort it brings to share our burdens with someone who truly listens without judgment. This understanding compels us to offer the same gift to others, creating a space where they feel seen, valued, and supported. A teacher who struggled academically as a child may become more patient and attentive to students facing similar difficulties, offering them encouragement and practical strategies to overcome obstacles